I want to make 2 points on this video. The first is that a neighborhood is not a community. The second is that family should be the first business. Now, these two topics are very interrelated because it takes strong families in order to build strong communities. If you don't want to bother with building the strong families, then you will never have a strong community. First, let's define neighborhood. A neighborhood is just a place where people live in close proximity to each other. That makes them neighbors, that makes it a neighborhood. But a neighborhood is not the same thing as a community, even though you hear people using those two words interchangeably all the time. Fact is, it takes more than just people living close to each other to build a community. It takes people working together in order to accomplish things. That's what makes it a community. Otherwise, you just got a bunch of people who live around each other and are just hanging out. So, if a neighborhood is not a community, what is? Community is exactly what it sounds like. Common unity, meaning people working in unity for their common goals and objectives. Now the question becomes, how do you turn a neighborhood into a community? The answer is simple. You first have to build strong families. Families are the first business. Strong families are what turn a neighborhood into a community. I'll show you exactly what I mean in this short video. Let's start off with an individual. Let's say this individual makes about $3,000 per month. Let's say their bills come out to $2,000 per month, and then as a result they have $1,000 per month left over. Okay, now let's assume that this person is a part of a family that has 100 members, and let's assume that all of these 100 members have the same budget, right? So if one person can save $1,000 per month, then a course of 100 people can save $100,000 per month. Okay, now $100,000 per month times 12 months in a year, that gives you $1.2 million per year. Okay, once a family has $1.2 million per year, what do? They can start a family business. That's a lot of capital. That's a nice amount of capital to start a lot of different types of businesses, right? Now, the great thing about it is, from the day that this family starts this business, this business will already have 100 customers. Why? Because the members of the family will be the first customers. Let's say, for instance, this is a grocery store. This grocery store already has 100 customers because if I am a member of a family that owns a grocery store, then I'm not going to go to some other grocery store. I'm going to shop at my family's grocery store for my grocery needs. So therefore, this business already has 100 customers from the very outset. Okay. Now, let's assume several other families organize themselves in a similar fashion. Let's say 3 other families, and let's say each of these families also have 100 members. This one has 100, this one has 100, and this one also has 100 members. And let's say, for instance, this family forms a mechanic shop. This family forms an insurance agency. Let's say, for instance, this last family forms a clothing store. Okay, and each one of these families are in a similar situation as the first family. Each one of these businesses already has 100 customers. Why? I'll reiterate, because the mechanic family will let the family's business repair its car if the cars have any problems. That means since this mechanic family has 100 members, then this mechanic shop already has 100 customers, potentially, if their cars give them trouble. Okay? Same thing for the insurance agency. If you own a car, then you have to have it insured. The families who own this insurance agency will, of course, get their insurance from their own family business, which means this insurance agency will also have 100 customers, so on and so forth. Now, the way you begin to grow a business in a very organic sense and in an almost guaranteed way is by forming alliances with other families who have also built strong businesses, just like this. And in this case, let's say, for instance, the mechanic shop says, okay, insurance family, if anytime you guys have problems with your cars, you come to our mechanic shop, then anytime that we want insurance, we'll come to your insurance agency. And just like that, this family has formed an arrangement where both families are able to increase their customers by entering into an agreement between each other. And if all of these families begin to do the same thing, forming agreements amongst themselves and with each other, then you can see that each one of these families can very realistically have 400 customers in the very near term. Now, there are two main points to take from that video. One, an organized family will have a far greater chance of success when building a business than an individual will, for several reasons. One reason being very obvious: the capital. More money, more capital. A business that has the financial support of all of its family members will have the money it needs to go out and compete more effectively in a highly competitive world. The second insight is that once families are organized, it makes cooperation easier. And it's that cooperation amongst the family that allows a community to be built. No more fake caring, no more begging people to support your little one-man failing business. Now people will support you because it actually affects them. Now they have a real reason to be concerned with whether or not you will be successful, because it has a direct bearing on whether or not they will be successful. When we recognize that, it eliminates the necessity to be out here saying things like brother this, sister that. No, I'm not your brother and you're not my sister, and that's okay. That's the great thing about it. We don't have to be. All we have to do is have a common interest, and it's that common interest that will allow us to work together and accomplish things. The other stuff doesn't last anyway, and we kind of know that in the back of our minds, that stuff is just talk anyway. So you see, it takes more than just living near each other to be a community. There's more to it than that. A community is nothing without strong families who cooperate with each other. Some people understand that and they thrive. Other people don't understand that and they struggle and lose. Period. Now, what's your part in all of this? Your part is to be one of the adults in your family who is doing everything that you can do in order to make your family strong. My job is to do the same thing in my own family. And once you have several strong families, these families can now come together to work together in order to accomplish greater goals together. Until you do that, you'll never have a community. A community is just a pipe dream. Make your family strong, then ally with other strong families. And if everybody did that, then one morning you just may wake up and find yourself living in a community.